I'm back, everybody. I hope you enjoyed hearing from the Shore Consulting training team these last few months while I was taking a little sabbatical. But I'm back in the saddle to help us close out 2024 as strong as we can. Starting with this week's episode, The Power of Speed in Conflict Resolution. We're going to talk about how unresolved issues grow from concern to crisis over time. Stick around. Welcome back, everyone, to the 5-Minute Sales Training, where today we're going to talk about the power of speed in conflict resolution. There's an old adage that I've kept close by over the years. It goes like this: good news never gets better, and bad news always gets worse.
It's worse.
Now that seems to make sense, right? But why is that true? In particular, why does that bad news always seem to get worse? Well, we need to look to psychology for the answer to that question. Let's suppose you're dealing with a medical condition. Say you've got an ongoing headache and some dizzy spills. You talk to your doctor and she says, let's run some tests just to be safe. And we're going to do an EEG on the brain and just make sure it's not serious. Now, first of all, what did you hear when she said, make sure it's not serious? What you heard her say is, this could be serious.
I'm gonna die. I'm gonna die.
And so you do what every medical professional on the planet would caution you not to do. You turn to Google or WebMD or whatever highly unhelpful site that you can find. And after some very, very intense doom scrolling, you see it right there, plain as day. There is a 0.03% chance that you have Flugeldorf's disease. It's a very rare malady caused by eating too much tainted cheese. Cue the mental tailspin in 3, 2, 1, go.
Brain cloud. I knew it. Well, I didn't know it, but I knew it.
All right, why does this happen? Why do we make big deals over scenarios that are highly unlikely to be a problem in the first place? Well, it has to do with our self-protective instinct. Specifically, I'm talking about a stay-alive reflex known as threat sensitivity. When we face a situation that is unusual, it's out of the normal, it's awkward, it's troubling, our brain perceives this as a threat, and it automatically looks for worst-case scenarios. There's a term for this, and it's called catastrophization. If you have a teenager who's 45 minutes late getting home from a party, you know exactly what I'm talking about. The brain rifles through all the things that could be wrong, however unlikely. Buyers do this too, all the time. A small issue haunts their brain, and until that issue is resolved, it takes a valuable mental real estate. The fear camps out, and it grows, and it consumes its victim. Now, look, I know it sounds silly, but that's how catastrophization works. And it's not silly to your customer, it's actually quite serious. All right, so what do we do about all this? 2 strategies. Strategy number 1, speed. Strategy number 2, over-communicate the positive. Let's talk about those. Let's talk about speed.
Must go faster.
The fact is that the longer a customer has to wait to get an issue resolved, the more likely it is that catastrophization will set in. Time is your enemy on this. Don't let your customer wallow in their own negative thoughts. My suggestion, you might need to give what I call a no update update. Sounds like this. Hey, I don't have an update for you, but I just want to let you know that your issue is still on the top of my radar. I'll be back to you as soon as I know something. Now look, the key is to understand this. This is really important. If they know you're on top of it, they don't have to be. If they don't think you're on top of it, it continually haunts their mind. So the longer you go without an update, the more you are inviting a worst-case mental scenario. Now, the second strategy is to overemphasize the good stuff. Consider all the things that can go right and all the things that can go wrong throughout the process of buying a home. Now think of those things as either deposits or withdrawals in a kind of emotional bank account. The positive updates that you give are deposits. The problems and glitches along the way are withdrawals. Very simple strategy here, my friends. Don't ever be overdrawn. Consistently emphasize all that is right. Now look, I'll close with a couple of suggestions. First of all, keep a running list of customer concerns. Keep it somewhere obvious, somewhere you can't ignore it. It can't be forgotten. You don't want anything to slip. So whatever those top concerns are for your customers at any given time, have that list and maybe consider including on that list the date of the last contact with each customer. You want to know if it's important to them, it's important to you, and I can always see it. But secondly, I want to suggest that you ramp up the positive energy on your update calls. Really lay it on. Your positive energy will be contagious, and it might just be the elixir for a customer who is on the verge of otherwise catastrophizing. So that's the strategy. If I want to put it in one word, the word would be speed. Speed to resolve, speed to stay in touch, speed to emphasize the positive. There you go. Thanks for watching, and until next time, you know what to do. Learn more to earn more.